Trump-backed Vernon Jones says civil rights are not for gay people because they can change to become straight at any time, right? Watch this.
You can't tell me Dr. King supported abortions, late-term abortions. You can't tell me that Dr. King did not support traditional families. You cannot tell me that Dr. King didn't support just, enforcing the law at our borders. Civil rights and gay rights, let me tell you, civil rights for blacks and gay rights for gays are two different things.
They say it's the same thing.
But it's not the same thing. It is that, because you know what? I don't know what you are unless you tell me what you are if you're gay. But when I walk in that room, you can tell that I'm black. I'm black from cradle to grave. Let's not get that confused. But they can actually change. You know, you can go from being straight to being gay to being transgender and all these other genders. But when you're black, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. So to compare the two, when did gays come over here and shit?
Wow. Vernon Jones, the Georgia Republican congressional candidate, who calls himself the Black Donald Trump, his words, is speaking out against civil rights for the LGBTQ plus community. He seems to misunderstand sexuality as a choice. To clarify for Mr. Jones, the definition of homosexuality is, quote, the quality or characteristic of being sexually attracted solely to people of one's own sex. The definition does not mention the act of sex, simply the attraction. One does not choose who they are attracted to. However, we would like to point out that Mr. Jones did choose to allegedly rape a woman at a party in 2004. She likely did not choose to be attracted to him.
Yeah, this man is totally spare parts. He is just a terrible person. I've got news for you. I've been gay from cradle to the rapidly approaching grave. I always am. And if you look at the words and the rhetoric that they're using, they're just recycling all the 1970s talking points right back at us as if it's fresh and new. It's not, but it is for a new generation who could be easily lured in.
But it's infuriating to think that in this day and age, people still think that it's a choice. You know, I mean, my life would be a lot easier if I was straight. A BJ and a sandwich, and every man is very happy, all right? Women are a little psycho and take a lot more to deal with. Like, really? We could just change? It's Monday. I feel like being straight today. It doesn't work that way.
Never has, never will. I can't even imagine what they were thinking when they came out with that kind of commentary. Like, okay.
You know, I mean, honestly, can he choose to be black? Can he wake up one day and say, I'm not going to be black today? No, I can't choose to be straight either.
And at the end of the day, who cares? Let's turn the clock back to 1958, Jones. It's 1958, and every single thing that came out of your mouth would no longer be acceptable to come out of your mouth. We wouldn't have you be quoted. We wouldn't have you on television. We wouldn't even recognize in Georgia your right to be anything but the lowest common denominator in your community in Georgia. Let's turn the clock back. Of course, we don't want to do that, but it's shocking. The reason you're so shocking, and the reason we're so shocked at the ignorant words that came out of your mouth is that you got to the position that you are now, and you don't want to bring anybody along with you. If we had had that same attitude in 1959, you wouldn't be sitting where you are right now.
I think
horrifying.
It is horrifying. We continue to hear these stories over and over, and at some point we got to stop being amazed at these crazy, but they're still out there.
And you know the worst part of this is, as I was listening to this ignoramus, I was thinking about all the LGBT black people that I know in our community that face discrimination. Among the worst of the discrimination that exists in our community is in the black community, is in the black church, and people like Vernon Jones. And it's a real shame, because until we can put this behind us, we can't. And it's exactly what the black community faces. If we can't put our racial discrimination behind us, you can't progress. And it's shocking that people in the black community would do the exact same thing against other minorities. Shocking. He's just shocking.
So disappointing.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth